Hello and welcome to That Sport For You To You. But you didn't put it in the title. You didn't call the show That Sport For You To You
Oh,
last
didn't
last
I?
time.
Didn't I?
No, that's one.
Oh.
That's one. I didn't want to say anything bad. I wanted to be positive because it was your first time
First time.
doing
My
the
first time.
work. But
Yes, advice. Yes.
but I was
Well,
like, I thought it was
criticism.
interesting you hadn't put that in. But anyway, that's
You
fine.
gotta say criticism. Gotta take the criticism. Anyway,
Yeah.
carry on.
So yes, Dave and Tom here to talk about the Chinese Grand Prix, the 1000th race. No, not the 1000th Formula One event. I think they called it
I think that's right.
because
Yeah.
it's not.
Something. I think it was. Yeah. So let's get the clarification out of the way here. This was the 1000th Formula One World Championship race. Okay.
No,
So
no,
the
no, not no. Was it? I didn't.
yeah.
I
It was
thought
the,
it wasn't that.
no. It was the 1000th World Championship race, but it's not. But it
Okay,
wasn't the 1000th Formula One race because of various reasons.
right. It's very confusing.
It's not that confusing actually because what it was a couple of years back in the 50s the Indianapolis 500 was considered the points for that race went towards the Formula One Championship, but it was a race not run to Formula One rules, and also between in the mid 1950s, Formula One was quite rare, and a lot of teams didn't want to conform to the specifications. So the governing body decided to run Formula One to Formula Two specifications just to get the numbers up.
And there was a thing as well about it not being a Grand Prix, not called a Grand Prix or something until the
Oh, back in the
70s or
day.
something.
Oh, was it? I didn't know about that one actually.
Well, I don't. I might
That's
be
quite
wrong with
interesting.
that. I may be wrong with that. But
But possibly right.
yes,
Possibly right. No, I haven't heard that one.
yeah.
Um,
And yeah.
so
Anyway,
it was Formula One 1000, as they bigged it up to be.
yeah.
And, yeah, the race itself wasn't exactly the spectacle I don't think we were all hoping for, which
No.
is crazy when you think about it, because the Chinese Grand Prix in last year, 2018, was one of the best races
Yeah.
of the season, whereas this race, not so much. And I'm going to be honest, straight off the bat, even though I was only watching the highlights package on Channel 4 UKT, on UK TV, I was struggling to keep my eyes open, which is doesn't really say much.
It doesn't
But
bode well.
no, it doesn't bode well. But we'll crack on some of there were some interesting moments in this race. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Well, should we go back to qualifying? Because there was an interesting event in
you've
qualifying.
read
Oh,
you read my mind.
go on,
You read
go.
my mind. That's exactly where I was going to go first. We'll start in qualifying. Valtteri Bottas put his Mercedes on the
No,
front row of the
no.
grid.
Let's go back.
Oh,
Let's go back
you're
to
going back further.
practice 3 because Albon had
Oh, Albon.
a massive crash, which he that was important.
You say
like side story to the race.
yes. It built the race. Well, not for him obviously, but very disappointing to see. But at the same time though, it's quite like I think I've said in the past. If you're going to make a mistake like that, do it in practice rather than the race, because then you know that's
Yeah.
where the limit is, and no real damage done, as it were. But obviously,
What a
his
car was wrecked.
yeah, exactly. His free practice, his car was completely destroyed, so there was no way that the team could get it fixed in time for qualifying, which meant Albon started from the pit lane. But as we found out, it wasn't too bad for him. So yes, Valtteri Bottas, front of the grid, he put in a stellar lap. To be fair,
Yeah.
and
He bossed it.
He did boss it, yeah, and you're right. And so this was more Valtteri Bottas of Australia coming back through, and that's great. That's kind of what we want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd prefer to see the Australian and the Bahrain version.
Yes,
That's for sure.
Indeed. Yeah, and it was an unusual grid as well, wasn't it? Because it was very much Noah's Ark, two by
Yeah,
two, because you had the Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Renault, and was it Haas, I believe. So it was
yeah.
quite an unusual grid, and I've not seen that for
It's
many years
so it's
or ever.
the first time the top 10 have been 2 by 2 since um, 2011.
Was it?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh right. Oh, didn't know. I didn't know that. Thank. Well, fact.
2011, and Vettel won the race. Apparently, I'm not entirely sure. Singapore, maybe. Maybe it was Singapore.
Well,
Should I
maybe.
look? Should I check this? But then, yeah,
I
it's
think
the yeah.
I think we should.
Okay. Yes, it was Singapore 2011, and yeah,
So that was worth it.
Vettel was on pole and he won the race as well.
There we go. So that was the first race since 2011 that the top 10 were in team order, as it were, which is but at the same time, I would say it's quite
Yeah,
indicative. Is that the word? Is that the right word? Indicative of
yeah, I
the
think so.
current race order. I would say, with Mercedes currently leading the way. So anyway, that was qualifying, and the race got
Yeah,
underway. And oh,
hold on. Qualifying, I wanted to touch on the Max
oh yes, good.
Verstappen
No,
incident at
yes,
the
that's a
final
good point.
corner.
I glossed over that.
What is your
Um,
view on it? What's your
well, you
what's
know, I
your
think
take?
I would say Max needs to stop moaning a little bit and just get on with it. Get
Yeah,
on with it. He's not.
yeah, agreed.
You know, it's always someone else's problem. You know, with Max, it seems he's always blaming someone else. It's never
Yeah.
him. And
The thing I don't get is like when Vettel passed him, there was quite a gap until the Renaults did.
yeah,
So he had lots of time to. He had enough of a gap to then go, and he seemed to just have a moan, and then
mm,
the Renaults passed him as well. And then by the time he got around the
yeah.
corner, it was
There's
too late.
exactly.
I mean, if they had more time, then they would have lined up and gone in turn, I think. But it was the fact that, because I said it as soon as they started to come out of the pits, I said it. I said that they're not going to make it. The final cars, I'm going to predict now that they won't make it. And then they were coming round, and I'm not surprised that they all had a bit of a
Yeah,
tussle
yeah,
to
yeah.
try and get by.
So obviously the team's going out at the end to try to make the best of the track conditions, but for whatever. So it was obviously
Yeah,
very heated as well. And Max Verstappen just lost a bit the hothead again, coming through. If he just got his head down and
yeah,
got on with it, he would have made another lap. He would have got another lap in. Um,
yeah,
so it's hard to
yeah.
see what I mean. You're entitled to overtake in qualifying. There's nothing to say you can't not overtake someone. So what's his problem?
Yeah, because he did a post saying that it's an unspoken rule that you all line up and you take it in turns to go,
Really,
and then
really.
Hamilton then came back and he just went nope. That's all
Yeah,
that he
I
said was
think,
nope,
yeah.
and it was like that's all that he needed to say. Like
It's
you
an
know,
unspoken rule that applies only to that. Maybe everyone told Max Verstappen that,
yeah.
and no,
Well, yeah, I see. I kind of get it because they all do slow down towards the end and they give the next car a bit of room before they go. But when there's no time,
exactly.
it's like you're not gonna
Yeah,
let them go if you then can't go. If it's one of the
yeah.
two of you,
It's
you
every
just go
man.
for
At the
it.
end of the day, it is every man for himself. Um, and if you're, you know, muscled out, don't start whinging about it. Get on with it.
Yeah,
So,
no,
so
exactly.
as we'll get on to the race got a little bit more tasty for Max than in qualifying. So,
Hmm.
moving on to the race, if I may. Uh, so
Yep,
Lewis
go for it.
Hamilton beat Valtteri Bottas off the line. He got a better start, and that was the race. It's in
Yeah, the race
all
was won at
honesty,
turn one, wasn't it?
Mercedes had an untroubled run, didn't they? I don't think they were even pushing. Were they even pushing?
Yeah.
I think they
No,
did
I don't think
the
so.
double stacked pit stop, which I thought was a very
Yeah,
risky. Oh, it's
that was
absolutely,
brilliant. Yeah,
absolutely.
very
They pulled it off.
risky, but yeah, because I was thinking as soon as they said that, I was
Yeah,
like, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? Like they're cruising to the win.
yeah.
Why risk it? And then when they pulled it off like perfectly, I was like, that was
It was, and I
a
think
brilliant moment.
Bottas's stop when he stopped was actually faster than Hamilton's, if I remember the clock. Yeah, but
Was
it's the
it?
same
Yeah.
whenever I'm playing Motorsport Manager, and I'm like, oh no, both my cars tires are done. I'm gonna have to bring them both in. You know, you got a bit of
Oh
sweat
no.
coming down your
Yeah.
brow, thinking, oh, this is gonna be close.
But the stops are quite long in that game. Like, there's not like a 2 second stop like in real life. They're quite long
Well,
stops.
in my
So,
season I'm doing now, refueling has been banned, so the stops are literally 2 seconds, like it is in F1.
oh, my
Oh
refueling's
yeah,
banned, and but the season that I was doing last time I was playing it, I'm sure it was banned. But I'm sure
yeah.
it's the. Anyway, we're
That's a
going off
tangent.
F1. It doesn't matter. Cut,
No, I
cut,
quite
cut,
like
cut
that. I
this
quite
bit
like
out.
that little bit of inside stuff. Anyway, yeah. So
Yeah,
Mercedes, just a perfect weekend, really. The only thing that Mercedes didn't get, of course, was the fastest lap. But we'll talk about that later. But
yeah,
otherwise, Hamilton pulled well. Looking at the results, Bottas was 6 seconds behind Hamilton in the end. Not a massive margin, but Hamilton, yeah, an untroubled run to the flag, and he won. I think he's
yeah,
a fitting driver to win the 1000th Grand Prix. But it would have been nice if it was a bit more
yeah,
eventful for the win anyway.
yeah. Towards the top end, yeah. From about I don't know a few laps in, I was seeing like the timings, and it was just they were just
Yeah,
getting further and further apart. You're just like spreading out, and I think I said like maybe 5 laps in, I was like, this is going to be a terrible race because there's just no one's competing. Like, and I know there was a few pit stop like there's a few different strategies, that sort of thing, but yeah, the pace of the cars were not close enough to really
and I think that
give
was
a
shown
good
by
race.
qualifying, where the teams were basically, they were in order. Well, when that
Yeah,
happens, I'm sure some of the big wigs at Formula F1 were thinking, oh no, well, this is not going to be great because
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You kind of
when it's in
predict it
order like
already.
that. But obviously, the race didn't finish in that order, but it was not very
No,
close racing for the majority
yeah, it
of
wasn't
the field.
exciting.
So moving away from Mercedes, Ferrari had a very interesting race, and I really want to hear what your thoughts are on the whole team orders escapade.
Yeah.
You go on.
So I think at the time Vettel was faster, and I think they were right to swap him and give him a chance to pull off. Sorry,
Pull
pull off.
away, pull away, pull
Didn't
away.
mean that to sound rude. Sorry. To pull away. Um, and then when he didn't, looking back, I think they maybe should have swapped them back again. But at the time, I kind of felt like it. It. I don't. I felt when I watched it, I thought it was the right. They did the right thing. But looking back, it really was. It didn't
No,
work out very well on Leclerc. Like it really. And I think if they'd swapped them back again, that would have been the right thing to have done in
yeah, yeah.
hindsight. But I did feel live that they were
Yeah.
doing the right
Okay.
thing.
Interesting. So I've got the opposite opinion. Also, I didn't watch it live, but
Okay.
I hadn't seen the result or anything like that. So just for the clarity's sake,
No. Yeah.
at the start of the race, Leclerc got a better start than Vettel. So he was in third
Yeah,
place on merit, ahead of Vettel. From
yeah,
what I could tell, Vettel wasn't massively quicker than Leclerc. So Ferrari came on the radio. They tell Leclerc, okay, pull away a bit, pull away a bit. And if you can't, we'll swap you. We'll have to swap you. So Leclerc was like, okay, fine.
yeah,
And then he didn't pull away as much as they wanted. So they swapped the cars around. And I thought this was very harsh at the time. I thought, right, okay, this is clear favouritism to Vettel at this point.
but don't you think Vettel was being
Well,
held
not
up?
from what I was watching, not really. I wouldn't. For what I
Okay.
could see, not particularly. And when Vettel did get ahead, and Leclerc basically stayed with him, and it wasn't really getting away from
Yeah,
his teammate. I was thinking, that if they'd swapped them back round again because hadn't really done anything different, then maybe it
yeah,
would have been okay. But as it turned out, Ferrari really messed up their strategy, and so instead of finishing third and fourth, they ultimately finished third and fifth with Leclerc down in fifth, losing out to Max Verstappen, which came down to the
yeah,
fact Ferrari switched him onto Plan B, which meant go longer on the middle on the second stint of tyre, and that put him behind Verstappen. Um,
yeah. Because they were saying they were going to go as long as they can, and then they didn't go
no, it was only
actually
a
that long. Because I kind of thought they were going to send him really deep into the race, and then they were going to give him a pair of softs for the last like 15 laps or 10 laps,
do what he
and
can.
he could just
Yeah, me
make
too.
up the time. And then like two
Yeah,
laps on, he comes in. So it's like
no,
nothing really gained or
there is. Yeah,
it's
I'm
a bit of a
completely
strange
on
one
with
that.
you with that one. When I was like, okay, they're leaving. He's in third place. They're leaving Leclerc out there. They're trying a different strategy. Great, but no, like you said, a lap or two later, they're bringing him back anyway. So he's really lost out because he's dropped far behind Verstappen, and ultimately he finished 4 seconds behind Verstappen, which isn't a massive amount. And that could have been if he pitted sooner, he could have retained that. Um, a poor,
Yeah.
yeah. I was going to say a poor strategy choice from Ferrari. They could have had a 3-4. Ultimately, they got a fourth.
And the thing I just thought of as well that they did was they left him out, I think, to help Vettel. Like who was it?
Yeah, but Bottas
Bottas that
he
Leclerc
had to
held up for
overtake.
a lap.
Bottas had to overtake Leclerc. Yeah, when going before he pitted.
And then was Verstappen involved in that, or was he
No, he was behind at
behind him
that
at
point.
that
And
point? In
Verstappen
front of
came in. He
him.
made his stop, and
Yeah.
then he had a proper go at Vettel. And fair play to him. That was the best action I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, mid race action.
Yeah.
He was ahead for about
That we saw, yeah.
he was ahead for about half a corner, and then Vettel came across, shut the door, and that
Yeah,
was
'cause he
it.
just kind of went through the corner, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That was
Yeah.
but at least Verstappen had a go. I mean, we had a moan about him earlier in the show, but I do appreciate him trying his damnedest out there. And it's quite clear that the Red Bull probably
Yeah.
is the third best car at the moment. But with circuits like that that are coming up, like Monaco and the like, he should be in a good stead to probably be one of the
Yeah.
contenders.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
word on Gasly.
Um, Glad to see him in
Yeah,
the top six. It's the best. It's
yep.
probably the best he's done. Well, it is the
In Red
best
Bull.
he's done. And I don't. And I yeah. And they pitted him 2 or 3 laps ago. They had a free stop, so they pitted him to give him the fresh tyres to give him the fastest lap. Which I don't know if you remember Leclerc being in the same position in the first race, and they never pitted
Yeah,
him. Do you
yeah.
remember in the first
And
race he was fifth, and he had a massive
and he
gap to
could have
sixth,
gone for it.
and I don't know why they didn't pit him
Uh,
because
yeah,
he would have been fifth and got
it's
an extra
Ferrari
point
being
as well.
conservative again.
Um,
I think it goes back to what you said
yeah,
in the previous shows. Ferrari are maybe they've got a fundamental problem, and we now know they did have a fundamental problem with their engine cylinder. So maybe they were protecting it back from
mm,
Australia. Who knows? But no, Pierre Gasly, yeah, got the fastest lap, so extra point there, and a solid sixth
yeah,
position, which is better. It's it's better.
but it's
No, he
not good
still finished
enough.
50 seconds behind Verstappen. I mean,
Yeah, but that's obviously including a pit stop.
that's
Like
20,
you
20
can take,
seconds.
it's
20
not really
seconds, so
50.
half a
Yeah,
minute.
you can take a
He's
chunk of that out,
still
but
way
still,
behind.
yeah,
Gasly, more work, obviously more work to do,
he's yeah.
but
But
shows improvement.
he's warming to the new car, new team. Yeah, it's going to take a bit more time. But obviously, if he's still this far back in another, like towards the end of the season, then it's difficult to
Yeah.
see him staying. I think.
No, is that yeah? He still
I
needs to step
mean,
up. He's got to start matching Verstappen for me, and soon to retain his place.
well, he's got to get close
Yeah,
to
he's
him.
got to get close.
I don't expect him to match him because
Oh,
if he
he's
does match him, then it's
yeah,
like we've got a
and he
superstar
hasn't
like
got that
alongside
star
him.
quality though.
But
Not, I couldn't see that last year. It looks like he's a safe pair of hands, but at the moment, he's world championship material. It's a push to say that.
yeah, and he's still young, but yeah, perhaps
Hmm. Interesting.
yeah, we'll see, we'll
Interesting.
see.
So going down into the midfield, there were some good battles in the midfield pack. Kimi Raikkonen was getting his elbows out with the Haas
Yeah,
cars. Have I pronounced it right this time?
Haas,
Haas.
Haas.
Um,
I don't think there's a right way to
no, just
pronounce it. I think they're both
just
wrong.
yeah, the Haas is wrong. So no points for Haas. Again, they finished outside the points. They went backwards rather than forward. That's what we saw in the last race as well, wasn't it?
Hmm?
So not great for them. Um, Renault, Daniel Ricciardo finished the race. He finished the race.
Yes,
Is
that's
that's his first
positive.
points for Renault. Best of the rest, which is a good sign. But
Yeah,
Hulkenberg retired, so obviously still some reliability gremlins that Renault need to sort out.
it's a shame that they're not. Yeah, so I really want them to do well.
Oh yeah, totally. But then it looks like they've still got a lot of work to
it
do.
might come with the season. It might
Well,
come.
I mentioned
Yeah,
Monaco before. Ricardo at Monaco will probably be able to do something a bit special. Maybe a podium
yeah.
to make up for the car's deficit. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, because he won the race last
No, exactly.
season. Yeah,
Well,
so
he knows how to drive Monaco.
you'd think the Red Bulls would be up there. You'd think Max is going to want to win, having crashed his car
Oh, in
last year
quali.
in
Oh, yes, we're reliving
qualifying.
that with Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff.
Anyway, we're
Tangent. Alex.
tangenting.
So big shout out to Alex Albon. For his amazing comeback drive,
Yes.
and it really was an amazing comeback drive. So he started from the pit lane, and he ends up the race in 10th place. I
Yeah.
mean, that shows some
Yeah.
pace.
Brilliant. Yeah, and the other thing is he had a lot of drivers behind him, and he just seemed quite cool about it. Like he didn't, he like you didn't see him kind of thinking, oh, he's gonna like sometimes you see drivers they
Grosjean,
lock up and they just go a bit wide, or they just they
comfortable,
don't
very
look
comfortable.
they just look like the pressure is beginning to show. Whereas for him, he just kept driving the same. He looked cool and calm, and
You just
yeah, he dealt with it
that
well.
shows some a very good temperament, and that probably doing really well for the future. No, very impressive stuff from him. Not so much from his teammate, must say.
He's you know what I think so far this season. So far, um, I think Kvyat has been really
He's been all
strong.
right. He's been all right.
Um, not including this race though. Like the first race, yeah, the first two. Like the first race, he what did he?
Oh, he was a no. He was 10th. Yeah, he finished ahead of Gasly, yeah, we talked about. We said about it. It's pretty good with fair play. Yeah,
So I think he's done really well, but obviously, yeah. And then
yeah.
so in this race, he had the coming together. with Sainz and then Lando
He was in a McLaren
Norris,
sandwich.
and he got and he I don't know if you agree, but I don't think he did too much wrong. Like obviously, yeah, because he did cause it, but I don't know if it's a racing in incident or not.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
thought
No,
it
for
was
me,
really harsh that
yeah,
he
no,
got the
totally
penalty.
agree. It should have been 100% a racing incident. It was difficult to tell
Hmm.
from the camera angles exactly what went wrong. Well, what happened? But it looks like he hit Sainz first, who
He just lost a little
yeah,
bit of grip,
yeah,
and
that's right.
it
You see
just
him over, he oversteered a bit,
touched
so he
him.
corrected it, which hit to
Yeah.
Science, and then Science hitting him to him, causing him to hit into Lando,
Yeah.
which yeah, which did
So
none
it's
of their
like,
cars
yeah,
any good. Ended up Daniel Ricciardo retiring. Sorry, Denny Kvyat retiring, and Lando Norris retiring as well. Obviously, damaged cars. It was probably not best for them to continue. Um, but yeah, no,
yeah,
it's another first lap incident that he's been involved with. Um, so question marks
yeah,
already coming back there. Uh, and it's
yeah,
stuff like that, it's things like little things like that. They're going to wear him down,
yeah. That's
like
gonna,
like before. Um,
yeah, yeah. That's gonna stop him from. Well, I can't
to Red
imagine him
Bull,
going back up
and
to
that's the point. That's
Red
the point we
Bull,
made
but
before. Why have they brought him back in again? Are they really going to put him back in Red Bull? Really? I mean, really?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I see your point. If they don't want him in a Red Bull, why use up a seat that could be used for a youngster that potentially they do want in a Red
Yeah,
Bull?
no, exactly.
Um,
It was an odd choice putting him in there. Maybe because they felt he knew the team, they needed someone in there just for this year. Obviously he's scored a
yeah,
point,
perhaps.
so fair play. But this
Yeah. Well, I think he's
he
done
has done all right.
really well
Yeah,
until
yeah,
this
totally.
race. Like,
It's unfortunately it's just come at this incident has put the question marks back up there, and well, got a question.
yeah. But again, it wasn't. I don't know if it was. It, I guess it
It
is
was
his
his
fault.
fault,
We
but
can't
it wasn't
say
worth. Yeah, it was.
because he caused it, but he didn't do anything wrong. The car
Yeah,
just
he
stepped
didn't
out
do
a
any.
little
He
bit.
didn't. His racing incident didn't warrant a drive-through penalty, but he
Yeah.
did. It is an incident that he caused. So whether the team
Yeah.
go, what does the team go from there? He has to improve. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think. Well, I think if we see the same driver from the first race or two, then I think that was fairly good. Obviously, not so much this last race, but I think it could turn out to be a really good move for them. But we shall
We
see.
shall see indeed. And a final word on Williams, who finished last. That's
Yep.
all to say.
Russell beat his teammate again. Beat Kubica. I feel for Kubica a
It's
bit
his big comeback,
because
and he's finishing
he's
last.
so
Well,
yeah. He's being outdriven by a rookie. Like
but George
it's
Russell's.
yeah.
I think he's special. I think he's got that star
No, yeah,
quality
yeah,
that we talked
true.
about before.
But
I reckon he should move up the grid quite quickly if Williams don't get their act together. Well, we say that, but at least Williams have got the reliability. That's all you can kind of say. They finished all the races so far.
yeah, they have finished. That's
Just
true. That is
no
true. They're
speed.
just slow.
Oh, that's unfortunately the case. So I'm going to finish off. Yes. A bit more facts for you. This is Mercedes finished first and second again.
Oh yeah.
This is the third time in 3 races that they've done this. It's making our predictions for this season look a bit rubbish. That's no, I don't think
Yeah.
anyone was really expecting Mercedes to be like as dominant as they have. Leclerc should have won the previous race, but it's all about the whole package. So the first time since Williams in 1992 have that a team have had first and second for 3 races in a row, going for 4 races in a row.
For the
Yeah,
first three,
which
yeah, the
is
first three
well, so
races,
it's
yeah.
incredible, and you think as well. That's like we've had these past several years of Mercedes domination, and they haven't achieved that. Then, I mean, what does that say? What does that
Yeah, it's
say
very
about
true. Yeah,
Mercedes of now? Then they're just that much better. It's almost all.
they must have had three, just not at the start of the season. They must
Oh
have had a
no, yeah,
run,
that's right.
a few where they have been 1-2, but it's
Start of
just
season.
starting the
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, yeah, they haven't obviously started quite that well
yeah.
before. But it's quite tough, I suppose. Just to win the
But
first three
first and
is
second,
good. Like to get one
it's
twos as
something
well.
special. I mean, not even Ferrari managed that back in the mid 2000s when they were winning everything. So
Yeah,
incredible stuff there.
yeah, exactly.
Next race, Baku. Baku's usually a race to provide a bit of fireworks. Um,
Yeah, exciting. Yeah, it does
it
tend to be
does. So
very
that's
exciting,
something to look
doesn't it?
forward. Very much looking forward to move away. I think from the Chinese Grand Prix, which wasn't exactly a stellar race. So to finish on Tom, I want to ask who your driver of the day was.
Oh, um, I think probably I've got to give it to
Ah,
Albon. I
interesting.
think.
So
Um,
you're going
so I
with
know
the
he got
group
the
decision.
driver. He got the
Yeah,
official
yeah, yeah.
driver day. Yeah. Well, I can't think of anyone like the top five or the top six. There's no one that. I mean, yeah, there's no one that really like. I know Hamilton won the race,
No,
but it
but
wasn't a
he won the
particularly
race. I mean,
difficult
that's
race
enough.
for him.
You know.
Yeah, and then no one else in the top five really
You could
did
say
that good a
Ricardo
job.
for finishing seventh.
Um,
Mm.
Albon, yeah, but I'd expect him to finish there. Like if the card doesn't fail him, he should be there. I'd say so. He started in seventh. Yeah, I would say Albon for me. What's your who's your
Driver of the
driver
day
of the
would
day?
also be Albon. There's no question. There's no question there. What a performance from the young Thai. Is it Thai driver, right?
Yeah, he's British,
I
Thai
need
British
I
or
need to get
something.
this right. No, absolutely, Alex Albon. So
Yeah.
Alex Albon, you get the Dad's
Um,
Life driver of the day.
Woo! That's as good as
It
winning a
it is.
race,
It no,
really, isn't
absolutely
it?
it is.
Are we going to send him a That's Life T-shirt? Oh, sorry, I'm yawning.
So you win. No, don't commit to anything. Don't commit to anything. He just gets
No, no, no.
he just gets a shout. He
Sorry,
gets a shout out on the show.
Alex. Yeah, which is as
And
good
if he would
as
like to
a
come on the
T-shirt.
show to share his thoughts on becoming
Yeah,
driver of the day for That's Life, then he is more than welcome.
yeah. Would we
We
would make
would,
room
yes.
for him?
We can
I think. I
we'll
think we can just about squeeze
we'll
him
find
in
a place.
somewhere. We could phone him during the show.
Have you got his number? Are you friends with him?
um, he'll be on
Oh,
Facebook or something,
maybe,
won't
maybe.
it?
Well,
He's probably got
well,
Facebook. I'll phone him on
you're
Facebook.
winning again. I
I'm
think we need
yawning
to end the
again.
show.
Sorry. Ooh.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Adapt Sport for you to you with him, Dave, and me, Tom. This has been the Chinese Grand Prix F1000 race. We've had a little chat about the race. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And so this is the second F1 sort of race review that we've done. I assume there's going to be a few more to come. So I don't know if the next show is going to be a normal That's Life podcast or an F1 race review podcast. You'll just have to tune in and find out.